First, the breaking news, folks. The Catholic Church has a new leader, Pope Leo XIV, the 267th Pope.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum.
It's so exciting, right, to be here for the occasion. And I've always said for myself, I was praying that, to be open to whoever God chooses and trust that.
He never wanted the spotlight. He didn't seek power. And yet, a math teacher from the south side of Chicago just became the most powerful man in the Catholic Church. This isn't fiction. This isn't prophecy. This is Pope Leo XIV, a low-key, wordle-playing White Sox fan who quietly rose from dusty Peruvian villages to the marble halls of the Vatican. And now, he's not just rewriting the papal, he's just not rewriting the papal playbook. He might be reshaping the future of the church itself.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum.
American Cardinal Robert Prevost. His name will be Pope Leo XIV. Stepping out onto the balcony at St. Peter's, looking emotional as he waved, the weight of honour and responsibility clear as crowds erupted below.
You've never heard a story like this, and by the end of this video, you won't forget his name. On a historic day at the Vatican, white smoke curled above St. Peter's Basilica, but what followed left the world stunned.
What are you hoping for in the man that comes out on that balcony?
Peace, kindness, humanity.
In the seconds before the white smoke, a baby bird tested its legs next to the chimney, a classic symbol of rebirth as the Catholic Church begins a new chapter.
A quiet, unassuming 69-year-old from Chicago named Robert Francis Prevost stepped onto the balcony as Pope Leo XIV, the first American pope in history. And here's the kicker. It only took 4 rounds of voting. That's lightning fast in Vatican terms, and a clear message that cardinals saw something rare in him, a bridge between tradition and transformation. But how did this soft-spoken bishop go from Chicago classrooms to global influence? Let's rewind. Leo XIV grew up in a working-class, multicultural family on Chicago's south side. His father, a Navy vet with French and Italian roots. His mother, a librarian with Spanish ancestry. He was an altar boy at St. Mary of the Assumption, a now closed parish that planted the first seeds of faith. But priesthood wasn't the plan. Robert studied math, taught physics, and lived a quiet life teaching at St. Rita High School until something deeper stirred. But his true calling wouldn't come from equations. It would come from a land thousands of miles away and the people in crisis. In 1985, he arrived in northern Peru in the remote and struggling diocese of Chulucanas. This was no photo-op mission. He lived among the poor, walked dirt roads, and stood beside communities forgotten by politics and power. He didn't lead with authority, he led with empathy. And it wasn't long before Peru claimed him as one of their own, literally. In 2014, he became a Peruvian citizen. But Peru was just the beginning. In 2001, he was elected Prior General of the Augustinians, leading 2,000 priests worldwide. Then, in 2023, Pope Francis himself tapped him for one of the most powerful roles in the Vatican, heading the dicastery for bishops, the office that chooses bishops globally. A year later, he was a cardinal, and within months, the whispers began. Still, no one, not even his family, believed he'd become pope. His brothers were floored. He literally told me there was no way, said John Prevost. Meanwhile, Louis Prevost broke into a literal dance when the announcement dropped. Chicago lit up Wrigley Field with a Cubs fan tribute, which, fun fact, was completely wrong. He's a die-hard White Sox guy. Also, he plays Wordle every day and is ruthless on words with friends. Before the conclave, he even watched Conclave, the drama film, because why not prep like a student? But behind the smiles was something more somber. He had plans to visit home this August. His brother said quietly, "That's not happening now. His life is changed forever." Now, let's talk about what kind of pope he might be. In his first speech, Leo XIV promised a church that builds bridges and receives everyone. Sounds familiar? That's because he's following Pope Francis's blueprint. He's pro-poor, anti-pomp, and deeply pastoral, but he's also more centrist. He's expressed concerns about gender ideology and opposes female ordination, echoing Francis's line. Yet he's also a firm advocate for climate justice and inclusion. And beneath the surface, family records show Creole ancestry, including ties to Haiti and a historically black neighborhood in New Orleans. While he's never publicly addressed it, it adds complexity to an already fascinating figure. But not everything is perfect. During his time in Chiclayo, multiple abuse cases emerged under his watch. Though he wasn't directly involved, critics say the optics raise questions. A similar situation occurred in Chicago, where a priest found guilty of abuse lived near a school. Again, the Vatican cleared him of responsibility, but shadows remain. So the question is, can a humble reformer carry the weight of a broken institution without being crushed? Pope Leo XIV doesn't want to be a celebrity pope. He doesn't care for headlines or holy theatrics. He leads with silence, with service, with resolve. In a church starving for meaning, he offers something radical: faith without ego, hope without noise. This isn't the pope the world expected, but maybe, just maybe, he's the pope history needed. What's your take on Pope Leo XIV? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe in a church that leads with heart, hit that like, subscribe, and share this video, because this story, it's just beginning.